Alright, welcome back. Finally getting around to getting turn 3 here. I've already done all of turn 3. I've saved the files. Again, this is Worthington Games Civil War Brigade Series. 7 days. I'm playing the Beaver Dam Creek scenario, first one. And the whole goal is the Confederates are attempting to push across Beaver Dam Creek, and the Union is attempting to stop them. In reality, A.P. Hill here started his attack early. He got impatient with these guys coming up here, Lee, Longstreet, and I think even D.H. Hill. So you see the attack has already started. It's not actually getting any success. This swamp here that is Beaver Dam Creek is quite the pain to push through. And so far, here we are, turn 3. And the Confederates have taken a lot of losses here, trying to cross this creek here. But now the reinforcements are coming. Longstreet, D.H. Hill, and of course Lee. I'm temporarily using the fire marker to indicate they're in column. There is no column marker. I'm going to maybe have to fix that on the Vassal mod. But here we are at the first phase, the command phase, and just to show you, everybody is within 4 hexes of D.H. Hill, and these guys, of course, are fine. So D.H. Hill, A.P. Hill is going to try again here. So let's move on to the next phase. All right, the next phase is the offensive artillery phase. Currently have only one unlimbered artillery unit here. And he's going to take a shot at this guy, probably thinking this is where the attack's going to come. So he's going to take a shot. Let's see, 9. I think I rolled a 1 and a 2. I think the ultimate thing was no effect. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Just so you can see on the combat table. 9, and yep, I think either a 1 or a 2 dice roll either way. No effect, so the offensive artillery didn't have any effect. And we'll move on to the next phase, which is the movement phase. Alright, here we are with the movement phase, just to show everybody who moved. The artillery couldn't move, it fired. A.P. Hill still stays in his centralized location, but you see the majority of his, I guess it's division, has concentrated here, Martindale, hoping that they can breach the creek here, coming out of the swamp. He used his weakest units to kind of screen these guys, although I don't think they'll be coming across again. Meanwhile, down here, D.H. Hill's division comes up, and they have actually deployed into line formation now. And then next coming up is the limbered artillery, kind of thinking about strategy here. You know, we still got a whole nother, I think we got Longstreet down here. But in the end, the Confederates probably need artillery to blow these people off the line here. So brought this guys first so they can reinforce and screen over here. And then the artillery comes up, but still, this is turn 3 of 6, so time's running out. So anyway, there's the move. Like I said, big attack here. We'll see what happens. And now we see defensive fire is first. And they had people all along here, which means these guys targeted the unit here. These guys targeted the unit here. This guy targeted this unit. And successfully caused them all to retreat. But they all passed their morale check. So we're just left with one unit able to fire back at these guys. So the power of defensive fire, we do see, and losses were taken, continuing, and the Confederates are up to 26 now. So we'll see. This guy's left. It doesn't look like the Confederates are really making any progress. So we'll move on to the next phase here, the offensive fire. And since this guy is the only one adjacent to anybody, he's firing here, and ultimately, no effect. So we basically end the Confederate turn with only this unit here. available and in the creek, and that's not necessarily a good place to be, just because the defensive values aren't good. But that looks like it is going to bring our here turn to the end. I'm not going to melee again. It's definitely, he's halved right out of the box coming out of the swamp, so all you'd be doing is taking more losses. So let's go ahead and move on. I believe we're going to get into the Union turn. And moving into the Union turn, the first thing is offensive artillery. So these units and this guy, I think there's one down here. Yeah, he fires here. No effect. I think, yeah, 17 remains the same. And then this guy fires here. I believe they cause losses, but again, they hold strong. When actually, ironically, all the morale checks the Confederates have taken to the game up to this point, and the rest of this turn they pass. Unlike the Union, that can't rally their routed troops. I don't think they. I think one of them recovered, but he's still got a routed unit down here. So anyway, there is the offensive artillery, and now we're going to go to the Union movement, which I don't think they're going to move anything, to be honest. These guys aren't released until there's actually a unit to the left, to the other side of Beaver Dam Creek. So we'll see if that's coming anytime soon. And now we finally have our one break for the Confederates. Their defensive fire caused a morale check, and unlike the Confederates, he failed and basically had to rout 1, 2, 3. So in theory, this is Confederate defensive fire. That means in turn 4, they can potentially put a unit here or here, depending on who has movement factors. So they are going to get units across. I did the math. They're not going to get very far, and these are powerful units for defensive fire, and it will free up Sykes now. But by the same token, here comes DHL, and can he push him through? So this is the one thing I do notice about Civil War battles. It's not so much you're eliminating units, no World War II blitzkrieg or anything like that. It's trading this fire, and we're seeing who routs first, amongst other things. So we do see now there's a potential hope for the Confederates to get across right here, thanks to their defensive fire. So it was wise to stay adjacent, but not melee. So as we learn the tactics of this game. Yeah, and here we go. We're going to end the video here. We're a little cleanup, and we can see the end result here going into the Confederate turn 4. They may have a hole here. The problem is these guys can't go very far. I mean, this guy could go 1, 5, 6. This guy could go further, but we got Zocs here that are going to stop him. But he could go 1, 2 up here, but he's going to catch fire from here. And then I can probably 1, 2, 6, probably put a unit here. Well, I'd like to put a unit here. See, this is tough. These units are too far back, and this is the only guy who could get here or here. All the other units are going to be in the swamp or here. So we'll see next turn whether this holds, if they can get across. And DHL here is, well, still a little further back, but he could 1, 2, 6. He could get there. This guy could 1, 5, 6, or again, we could try and rush here now too, in addition to this. So it's probably what we're going to see here. Meanwhile, for the Union, they're going to try and, well, hopefully this guy will rally for them, but these guys are going to try and hold the line. So next turn should be interesting. So at this point, I'll end it here. Turn 3, basically in summary, the Confederates attempt to overpower this guy who was here. The initial attack failed. Most of them were driven off by defensive fire. But this guy was able to, maybe not in his initial attack and not meleeing, but in his defensive fire phase, get a lucky roll and rout him. And from what I understand of the Civil War, these are the kind of things that happen, somewhat chaotic, and you need to take advantage of it. And then artillery are and my men becoming more and more critical, setting up for a possible attack. So, learning the rules, learning the game, and we'll see you in the next turn to see what the Confederates do to take advantage of this break. Thanks for listening.